Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your Divine Masculine Earth sign reading. And so this is going to be for those of you that have a Divine Masculine that fall under an Earth sign of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Obviously, just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. All the decks I'll be using here today will be listed down below, and I'll let you guys know what they are as I shuffle each deck. These Organites today are created by Michelle from Wing and Bell, and if you guys would like your own personalized version of this reading, I will go ahead and put that link down below as well. So let's go ahead and get started and see what do we need to know about your Earth sign Divine Masculine today. So the very first thing we're going to focus on is, how is this masculine currently seeing you, Divine Feminine? Let's look at this energy. So this particular deck is called the Goddess Spirit Oracle. Let's see what energy this masculine sees you in at this time, Divine Feminine. Ooh, we have Witch. So some of you Divine Feminines this might be something that you work with, like maybe you work with spells or rituals, right? Maybe you consider yourself a witch, or maybe this masculine just considers you a witch, and it could be because he's very passionate about you. He also sees you as a creator, manifester, someone that seems to, have what they want to have. Like you want something, you get it. Okay. It's like you're manifesting something. So this is a very magical energy here, but the key word does say passion. So I feel very passionate towards you. No matter who I'm with or what's going on between us, whatever is playing out, I still have this undying passion for you. So for me, it's like this masculine saying, I'm always under this feminine spell. That's the way that I'm looking at this witch energy, okay? So let's go ahead and see how else this masculine is seeing the feminine. What archetype wants to come through? This is called my Treasure Trove Oracle Professional Archetypes deck. What archetype wants to come through the way that this masculine is currently seeing this feminine? We have the Lawyer. Beware of narcissistic people. You may need to cut your losses and walk away before you're in too deep. Case dismissed. So it's not that this masculine is seeing this feminine as a narcissist. He is seeing her as somebody that's not going to put up with BS, basically. Kind of like you see through everyone's crap. Could even be including the masculines, okay? So if they have tried to pull the wool over your eyes, or they've tried to basically act a certain way and you're not dealing with it, they see you as this person that is not afraid to cut them out if they are not acting accordingly. So definitely seeing you in this energy and this vibration of strength and courage and integrity, very sovereign, etc. So that's what we have. Let's go into my Treasure Trove Tarot and see what else they're seeing with this feminine. We have the Star. The star is connected to the sign of Aquarius, but they see you as a bright, shining star, you guys, okay? So you could be someone that has some sort of, fame or recognition in, your craft or your community. All right, so they might see you as that bright, shining star. They might also see you as somebody who is above them in some way, like you have more, money, status, wealth, success, something. So they see you as someone where perhaps it would be a better choice for them to be with you. Now, there could be a reason why they're not choosing that right now. It could just be their own darkness, their own situation, their own mess that they've gotten themselves into. But they certainly see you as someone that would be the best thing for them. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool way to see someone. What else? Ooh, we do have the Three of Swords, though. So the Three of Swords can, of course, be an indication here of third party. So there could be other people involved, but there could have also been a lot of betrayal and deception and heartbreak with the situation. So you may have terminated the relationship with them. They may have terminated with you. There has been a lot of unpleasant energy here and needing to lick one's wounds because there's pain. So they may look at you as someone who they've caused a lot of pain, with. And as the lawyer that you are, you're kind of cutting them out. Now, even you could, the viewer, the feminine, could have even called this masculine a narcissist. I mean, that could have been the case. Kind of like, I'm not going to deal with this behavior anymore. So if you can kind of pull yourself out of your own ego, you can respect someone for putting up a boundary and not taking your crap anymore. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this masculine, is that he's seeing this feminine as that she is leveled up. She's not putting up with crap anymore. She's taking a turn for the better. She's on the right track. She's moving forward. Does he want to join her? So I'm seeing this. And we have the Hierophant. I feel like this masculine sees this feminine as somebody that he could be married to, or somebody that he can either have a family with, because they share some sort of similar values. Like they might have a very similar upbringing or similar, cultural, connection, or family and things like that are important. So there's those values that are in place. And so that's just kind of what I'm seeing here, is that this masculine looks at this feminine and sees her as somebody that's ideal for him. But there's this Three of Swords crap, right? And there's also this like narcissistic behavior. Now, when we say a narcissist, we're not actually saying this person is a narcissist, but they could just be acting narcissistically, which a lot of people do, especially when they're broken or there's trauma and things like that. So there's a reason that people act the way that they do. Doesn't make it okay, but that's just what I'm seeing here, that may have destroyed the situation or the connection between the two of them. But sees you as someone that's in control of your life, sees you as somebody who is passionate about themselves and about the things that they're creating. So it's like this masculine has mad respect for this feminine for carrying on and doing her thing, right? But at the same time, there seems to be this brokenness with this connection. So I'm going to say probably for a lot of you guys watching this video, you might be in a separation or a challenge period with this masculine. Okay. So that's how he's seeing things. All right. So now we're going to shift gears and we're going to go into, what does he feel when he plugs into your energy, Divine Feminine? What feelings come up for him? What energies are coming up when he plugs into you from his heart space? So these two decks are also created by myself. We've got the Earth and Sky Oracle and the Spirits of Darkness and Light Divination deck. Ooh, we have the Bear. To me, the Bear is like a CEO. The Bear is someone who is in control, very dominant. It's also like Mama Bear. So this is somebody who's very, very fierce and very protective, keeps their household in order kind of thing. So when he plugs into this energy here, he knows that the feminine is strong. She's very independent. We also have, so it says reserved nature, independent, routine and familiarity, and protective and fierce. So he knows that this feminine is very loving and nurturing, but he also knows that if he messes with her, she's going to be fierce. So that's what I'm talking about when we really just tapped into how he's viewing the feminine right now. He knows that he can only push her so far. Okay. So when he plugs into her energy, this reserved nature, if the feminine has in fact, the Divine Feminine has in fact pulled away from this masculine, like he knows why. He understands it. He gets it. He's no dummy. Okay. Can't pretend that some of this crap did not happen. He may know that you also are licking your wounds or just trying to protect yourself from him. That could be it as well. And we have the Spirit of Lightning. So this is about expressing oneself. So this to me tells me communication. Maybe the communication between the two of you, you guys have had some times where maybe you have said things that maybe you didn't mean, but you felt very angry. There could have been a lot of lashing out. There could have also been like a lot of power, behind the words that we have expressed. I feel like this masculine is still very affected by what the feminine has said to him over a period of time. He doesn't forget. It's still something that's in his mind, in the back of his mind, something that she would express to him, especially with this powerful bear energy. He knows that it's like, I know it's for my own good that she has said these things. I know it's in my best interest. I know that's where she's coming from, even if it was angry. I know it is because she's either defending herself against me, or she's reacting, or she's just trying to protect herself. It could be any of those things, but that is what he feels when he plugs into her energy, okay? He feels her very fierce but nurturing energy. So he feels her light and shadow side. What else does he feel? Because we do have the goat's energy here, and the goat is connected to Capricorn. Capricorn is all about materialism. So there could be this aspect here where this feminine has either a lot of money, or she's done very well for herself. She could just be one of those people that are very structured. She plans. She's very disciplined, because this talks about self-control and discipline, materialism and status. Challenging, but can be very unforgiving. So it's like that fierce bear energy. I can protect you and love you all day long, but if you mess with me, it's like you're going to regret it. So he's very aware of who she is. He's very aware of how she operates. But I feel like yet, even though he knows these things, he has literally still taken those horns, and he has pushed her. He has hurt her. He has taken those swords and he has stabbed her. Not literally, but just figuratively speaking. So that's it. So, and he knows that this is powerfully affected things. So if you guys are in a separation, or you're in this unpleasant energy with each other, right? The outcome is not what you guys had hoped for, but that's just where you guys are at. I feel like he is taking into account, or taking some responsibility that he did have something to do with the demise here, okay? So if you do not trust this masculine, it's like he knows that that is his own fault. We have the spirit of the earth, though, so there's a lot of earth energy here. Okay, a lot of earth. I mean, we are an earth sign, so Capricorn is specifically coming through so far. But this earth energy here, this says nature, grounded, ancestors. So the whole ancestors thing, this tells me here that there is this familiarity of this person, of each other. When you guys come together, there's this feeling that you belong together, that you guys would have a really good life together. I am picking this up from this masculine. He literally sees this feminine as his ideal person. But Capricorn is also connected to the devil, and it's Saturn and devil's energy in tarot. So there's karma here. There's a lot of karma. There's a lot of burden. There's a lot of lessons. So when we are dealing with the devil's energy in tarot, this tells us here that we have a lot of lust, we have a lot of temptation, we have a lot of, we're compelled sometimes to go into our shadow, even if it means hurting other people. So I feel like this masculine, or maybe even feminine, they've needed to go into their darkness, into their shadow side, and kind of, in a way, undo themselves in order to find themselves. So that's just what I'm getting here with this grounded energy. It's like when you let nature take its course, it's like the nature of who people are will usually, destroy themselves before they heal themselves and mend themselves. It's just human nature. So that's kind of what I'm getting with that message here. But the whole ancestors thing, it's like, our ancestors have been human. They have gone through lifetime, their lives. And we can learn from our ancestors. We can learn from our parents. We can learn from the mistakes of other people. So we can only learn from our mistakes here. So I just feel that this masculine and feminine came together at a time where they were really still learning so much about themselves. And because of this, there has been a lot of grief and hardship and burden with this connection. Okay? Maybe even a lot of lies and betrayal. And it's just an unfortunate thing, but that's just kind of the nature of this connection. It's very, we're not labeling it and saying it's karmic, but there's a lot of karma in this connection, as in karmic lessons. So let's see what else. Now we have the bull, which is Taurus. So we do have Capricorn and Taurus coming through big time in this reading. I am doing the earth signs here. But this says luxurious and pleasure-seeking, reliable and devoted, stubborn and uncompromising. So we did get the Hierophant here, which is also Taurus. I forgot to say this. So this is about our belief systems, what's important to us. So for me, the bull can be very stubborn, and they're not willing to compromise. This is the way that I see it, and this is the way it's going to be. This connection will push both people to see things in a different way. Okay, so we might come into the connection thinking that we've got it all figured out, or that this is the way that it's supposed to look like, and the other person will really compromise that and cause us to be uprooted, right? So we can then ground in a different way. So if we're grounded and planted and we're not willing to change, this person's certainly going to push you to do that. We got another animal with horns, literally pokes this feminine. Now the thing is, this goes both ways though. So this is a learning curve for both this masculine and feminine. So there's just a lot of hard lessons here when it comes to how we were raised and how we see the world, and being really fixated on a specific thing that's it's like very black and white with this feminine and masculine, and they have to find the middle road or this won't work. You know, there has to be true forgiveness here, or true acceptance of oneself before we can really truly be accepting of another person. So a lot of these lessons I feel are playing out in this dynamic here. But remember, this is what he feels when he plugs into her energy. So he might see her as somebody who he belongs with. They say pleasure seeking, reliable, and devoted. I know that she would be a good person for me. I know she would be a good partner for me. I know we want the same things, but I am still very stubbornly not wanting to compromise, not wanting to let her in, not wanting to change myself. So we're going to be at this stalemate standstill with each other, and we're still going to be in this like unfulfilling position in life. So to me, this masculine is aware of himself and knows that he's this way, or maybe even knows that the feminine's this way, but no one's budging. That's what I'm seeing in this connection. No one seems to be budging, and so it's a problem. Now we have the spirit of the scales. This says karma. We were just talking about a lot of karma, justice, and balance. There has to be a balance here, and I just feel like there is not. So this masculine actually may be aware of his own crap, but he could be also looking at the feminine and thinking to himself, she's not willing to bend. She's not willing to forgive. She's not willing to change. So if she's not willing to change, then I'm not going to change. So there's this imbalance right now with this connection. So I actually see this as a block right now. Just take it if it resonates, you guys. So let's see what he desires. Okay, so what desires come up for him when he is plugged into her energy? Okay, so we know how he sees her. We know how he's feeling, like what feelings come up. But let's see what desires come up in this situation, right? How does he desire her? So this deck is called, well, it's called something else, but I'm going to call it the Sensual Magic Oracle. How does he desire her at this time? Okay, so we do have protection. Very interesting. So he desires her, but this is also like this desire to protect her, this desire to be this provider for her that turns this masculine on. So if he doesn't feel like he can do that, this might be one of the reasons why there's an issue here. So there could be an issue with the self. We have conquest. Ooh, yeah. So there's something about winning. There's something about achieving here. There's competition. It's like the ram, not the ram. The goat and the bull are coming together. Okay? I don't know who's going to win. I don't know. I mean, these horns look pretty fierce, but that bull looks pretty big and fierce too. So I don't know who's going to win. But somebody wants to win here. Somebody wants to come out on top. Somebody... somebody wants to be, this is just a figure of speech. Like somebody wants to be the man. They need to be the man. And if they can't feel that way, then they're not turned on. I don't know. Just take it or leave it, you guys. But that's just what I'm seeing here. Somebody wants to be like in control or dominating. And I don't mean it like they want to dominate this feminine, but they want to feel like they are in some sort of position of power and control. And if they don't feel that way, then they're not turned on. So there could be a fight or a battle for dominance and control in this connection. And we have waiting. So there's also something here about this not happening right now. It's almost like the fantasy is better than the reality. The fantasy of this connection and what could be is better than the reality. Because what I'm getting here is that the reality seems to fall short of the fantasy. So that's that imbalance, you guys. It's that energy where we can't quite shift this into reality. All right, so this is a new deck, you guys, a brand new deck that is one that I just created here with my daughter, and it's called Erotic Activations. And so this is kind of my take on, a lot of the decks that are out there. It's more of a suggestive deck, so it's not like super in your face. It's one that you can, safely use on YouTube, which is why I created it without being demonetized because of the images and the words. So I created this for that reason, and we're going to use it here today. So it's available for purchase in the description box. All right. Let's see what else. Surrender. Take all of me. So this to me is someone really wanting someone to surrender to them and to let them take control. That's what it is. And I feel like that's what this masculine wants with the feminine. He wants her to surrender to him. He wants her to just, let him take all of her. And I know that might sound like, oh God, that's ridiculous. That's unhealthy, but we're not here to judge it. This is just what this masculine desires. So take it or leave it. We have fear. I am not afraid anymore. So this is definitely this, stop bringing fear into this connection. Stop riding that wave of fear. As long as we're riding this wave of fear, we're never going to be able to move forward. If you can't take that mask down, then we're not going to be able to move forward. So maybe this masculine, he just really needs this feminine to just fully surrender and give him this chance. Because if she doesn't, then it's like this isn't going to work. And it's not to say that's all in the feminine, because the masculine could have done some really shitty things here. But again, if you want to be with someone and you really want to make something work, you have to be willing to go in 100%, because this back and forth, thing, or kind of having one foot in, but really protecting yourself on the back end, it's just like we're not really going to be able to find out whether or not there is a chance here. It's like we're safer, just feeling safer taking baby steps. But what I feel we need to take big leaps. That's what I'm sensing with this one. Needing to take big leaps, or nothing's ever going to happen here. We're never going to get to the next phase. And I am not afraid anymore. I feel like this is a song from, what is it? 50 Shades of Grey, but I think it's 50 Shades, the second one, whatever the second movie is called. It's a song by Halsey. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't know. That's something too. We have domination. You have the control. So remember I was talking about someone wants to dominate someone here. Somebody wants to have control in the situation. I hate to say this, you guys, this could be the type of masculine who is very chivalrous, if I'm saying that right, old school, needs to be in control. And it doesn't mean that you can't be your own person. But he needs to feel a certain amount of control or power in order to feel like he is whole. And some of you guys might be saying well, that's not my job to make him feel that way. And if he has those issues, he needs to fix them. Look, again, no judgment here. This is just how this masculine is showing up. This is just the way that some people are. And you might be the kind of feminine where you're very much that feminine. That you've always had power and control of your life, and you're fiercely independent, and you have your shit in life together. And this masculine feels maybe fearful of that. But remember, this is his desire. He wants to be the one in control. He wants you to surrender to him. He wants you to no longer have this fear. He wants to show up and be your protector, your provider. That's what he wants. Okay. And maybe he's waiting for something to change or shift in that department, but that's what we have. All right, so let's see what else we need to know here. We're going to go into these two decks by Fire Witch Tarot. We have the Between the Sheets and Erotica. What else is this masculine's desire for the feminine? Okay. So interesting. We have pleasure and pain. There's something about this masculine who really likes things to be pleasurable, but also painful at the same time. He might have some interesting little taste. And so he thinks about doing things that maybe are very naughty, maybe that are a little taboo, but also that are going to bring some sort of pleasure. So maybe this is a part of the masculine that the feminine has not even seen. So that he could have some kinky things or some little kinks and things that he has still yet to even share with the feminine. There could be some things that he kind of holds back or hides from her. But when he desires her and thinks about her and fantasizes about her, he fantasizes about some of this stuff. What else? Oop. Strawberries and cream. But see, it's not just all about pain. There's also romance here too. So there's some soft, sweet, nice things, but then there's also some, kind of interesting little painful, tingly things at the same time. So that is what we have with how the masculine is desiring the feminine and the visions that come to his mind when he thinks about having pleasure with her. So I hope that resonates with some of you guys out there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to see what are the things that he's fighting and trying to hold back from the feminine at this particular time. Let's look at that energy. Okay, so we're going to go into the connections of the Modern World Oracle and connections of the Modern World Tarot that I created with my daughter, Kayla Recreations. And then I think we're going to combine it with the Twin Flame Hunger Vampire Edition from Fire Witch. Okay, what is this masculine fighting and holding back at this time with this feminine? Ooh, we do have hungry, so he has some sort of desire for her. That's coming up for sure, okay? Definitely some sort of desire and hunger and appetite for her. And we also have messaging her, Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is somebody who is offering their cup of love, a message, a flirt. I feel like he wants to flirt with her. He wants to contact her. Maybe this is even happening right now. You guys are experiencing messages. You're experiencing little flirtatious texts, invitations, things like that. And we have our bond is unbreakable because there's still this bond, of course, that you guys have with one another. No matter how much time goes on, no matter, if people have moved into other directions or with other partners, there's still this appetite for one another. There's still this unbreakable energy here that exists. So he's fighting back, perhaps, his hunger and desire for her and holding back communication to let her know that he still feels something for her. Okay, so we also have suspended. With the sun. Okay, so of course the sun is very happy, it's very positive, it's forthcoming, it's illumination, it's dominant, it's masculine energy. But we have this suspended, stuck energy. Like even though maybe things are improving for me and I feel really good, I'm still holding back. I'm holding back that I'm optimistic about us. Your love transforms me. So I feel like something has changed for the masculine. I feel like maybe perhaps he was suspended for a period of time. There was things that weren't going well for him. Things are going better for him. And because he's feeling better, it's like he's feeling better and more optimistic about this connection. But there still seems to be something where he's holding himself back, still feels somewhat stuck, like that Hanged Man energy, okay? Maybe he doesn't want to jinx it, so he's kind of waiting and thinking before he speaks or acts. Okay, so he does want to embrace the feminine. So he is holding back his desire and his hunger and wanting to come together with this feminine. So if you guys are dealing with a masculine who you're not talking to right now, or there is some sort of challenge or separation or issue, this doesn't mean that he is not feeling these feelings of wanting to connect. See, there's the Hanged Man showing up. So that just kind of confirms for us this is where he is. So right now he's kind of taking a little bit of that time out. I also feel like for some of them, they could still be working really hard, trying to get their ducks in a row, trying to improve their life. maybe really embracing this time apart to take care of responsibilities. And we have a breakthrough. So there's definitely been a change here for this masculine. But even though he's had this breakthrough and things are improving for him and getting better and he's feeling better, it's like he's still kind of hanging out, not quite sure if he should make a move on this feminine. So that is why he is, or what he's holding back and what he's fighting at this particular time. So why don't we now take a look and see what is the theme of his ascension journey, okay? So what is the theme of his ascension path and the details with his current journey? You know, with healing, ascension, spiritual growth, change, transformation. This deck is called Healers of the Earth Oracle. Let's see what the themes are for growth and development on the masculine's ascension journey. Oh, interesting. We have quarantine, retreat, seclusion, and inward journey. Well, we did get the hanged man, in my opinion, twice here. Okay, that to me is someone who's suspended. They're forced in some sort of way to take a time out. They're forced to see things a different way. They're forced into seclusion. So there could be something here that has caused them to have to go inward. So that's been a part of their spiritual transformation and journey. Maybe something happened to them. It's almost like a blessing in disguise, though, because it gave them this opportunity to do this work that maybe they wouldn't have done had it not been for this seclusion, had it not been maybe for even the quarantine when it went down, right? All right, so this is called the Star Child, I think, tarot. Yeah, I think so. We have the sun's energy. So again, the sun came up here, and I feel like the sun has been responsible for some sort of growth, change, and optimism, and kind of seeing the sunny side of life. This masculine could have gone through some sort of depression, right? And it's like if you stay inside too long and you don't get outside, outdoors, you don't get that vitamin D, you get depressed. And so I feel like this masculine could have been indoors for a while because he was forced to through, yes, quarantine or, you know, for other reasons. But it did force him to have to go inward. And when he went inward, or currently maybe is going inward, I'm kind of thinking about this in past tense because we're no longer in that quarantine. But this has been positive. This has had some sort of positive effect on him. It's helped him to see things in a different light. It's helped him to grow and change. Okay? And we know that there has been some sort of transformation or breakthrough because we just got it right here. There has been a breakthrough. A breakthrough from maybe the darkness now towards the light. Okay, so that's been something that's going on here for the Ascension Journey. What else? We also have 1111. We have opportunities, timeliness, and paying attention. So this is, to me, like signs from spirit. Okay, this is an angel number. So when we start seeing things on the clocks like 1111 all the time, or things that are just repetitive, these are synchronicities, and we can only see them so many times before we start to think to ourselves, this means something. There's something that maybe I need to pay attention to. So this is also occurring for the masculine on his spiritual journey. He's starting to see things. It may not be that he's exactly seeing 1111s or even thinks to himself, why am I seeing that? Even though it could mean that. But I feel like just in a general sense, he's starting to put pieces of the puzzle together. He's starting to see things, and he's looking deeper into those meanings, and he's getting something from diving deeper. Okay, so he's really paying attention here to what's popping up for him over and over again. So Spirit is trying to show him something through synchronicity. And we have the Four of Wands. So, of course, we can see the Four of Wands as an 1111 card. So I think it's kind of interesting that we've got two 1111s here. A lot of people, especially twin flame readers, will see the Four of Wands as a twin flame card. So it could be that there is some sort of either acknowledgement on soul connections, feeling really connected to this divine feminine, feeling like they do belong together, feeling like they have a good foundation that they, would like to start building on perhaps. Maybe he feels better with where he's at in the world and feels like he can actually build towards this goal, whereas maybe before he didn't feel like he could. So that could have changed too, or is in the process of changing. We also have bottled up. So there's a lot of bottled up energy. There's a lot of things that are being pent up that he wants to release. He wants to get it out. So he could also, like, things that he has been holding on to, things that he has been not wanting to deal with, are now starting to bubble up to the surface. And now he's feeling like he has the strength and the courage to face this. He has the strength and the courage to speak his truth, to say certain things, because he has gone through some sort of growth here. We have the Six of Crystals, which is the Six of Pentacles. And I like this because this has to do with give and take. This has to do with the balancing when it comes to relationships with people. Kind of like what we've given, we've gotten back, or what we haven't gotten, or what we gave, especially if it wasn't much. It's like we didn't get any return on that investment. So when that happens, we realize, well, where did we go wrong? Where could I have done things differently? So I really feel like this masculine has really looked at himself, and he's looking at what he has and doesn't have. And he's really doing some personal inventory on that and figuring out, you know what? I don't have these things because I didn't cherish them, or I didn't value them, or I didn't do the work, or I didn't dedicate myself. That's why I'm in this position. So I'm definitely seeing this shift and this change and this transformation that's taken place for this masculine. So that's what's going on the Ascension Journey right now, okay? So now we're going to go into, what does Spirit want the Divine Feminine to ask herself at this time? So it's very important, of course, that the feminine also looks at herself, examines herself, tries to kind of figure out what she could be improving or doing better. So these two decks, this is called the Ask Yourself Tarot, and this is just called Tarot Cards for Beginners. So let's just see what Spirit wants the Divine Feminine to ask herself and consider at this time. We have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is Taurus energy. So we've got Taurus that actually came through 3 times in this reading. What situation in your life is bringing you financial wealth and stability? So right now, there could be some sort of situation in the feminine's life where she's having to look at her foundation. She's having to look at her life in the bigger picture, especially when it comes to finances. So is there something that she's doing right now that's adding to that? Or is there something that she's doing right now that is depleting that? She might have to make some moves in the material world or within her career to change her status. There might be something that she needs to pay attention to. So for some reason, this is just more about the feminine and her own worth, her own value, and her footing in the material world. And it's not even really about the masculine, even though this could affect her connection with the masculine. It's more about what she's doing. And with what she's doing right now, is it providing her financial wealth and stability? And it's not to say that money's everything, but it might be something that's going on right now where it's just like, I'm not able to make ends meet doing something that, I love, or doing something at my leisure. It might be time to think about, how am I going to survive? So I don't know if that makes sense for any feminines out there, but that's the message that I'm getting here today. We really need to think about the bigger picture, or long term. What is it that we want in the bigger scheme of things? Are we going to be able to sustain it? Are we making smart moves right now financially? And we have the Magician. So the Magician is connected to Mercury, which Mercury is connected to Virgo. So I've had all the signs now come through this reading here today. But it's talking about manifestation, spiritual connection, creativity, ability, represents having everything you need inside of you to accomplish your dreams. So this is fantastic. So it's basically just saying here that this Divine Feminine is the King of Pentacles at the end of the day, and she can do anything that she wants to do, whether it's her passion or just, her expertise in a particular field, and she can turn a profit here. So she's very resourceful, a very resourceful Divine Feminine, and she's going to make it no matter what she decides to do. So let's go ahead and get another card on that. if you put your mind, to anything, you can accomplish anything. That's what I'm getting with that Mercury energy. And now we have the Two of Swords. So I do feel like the feminine might be at a crossroads right now where she feels kind of confused. She feels like she has to make a choice. She has to make a choice between maybe doing something that is stable and smart versus something that she loves that gives her a creative outlet. I feel like there is a little bit of that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So that's what Spirit is telling the feminine to focus on. Focus on her own financial situation right now. And we have the King of Pentacles coming up just to confirm this energy. That's amazing, you guys. So this is what I want to say, okay? If you are a divine feminine out there, okay, and you really want this masculine by your side, that there is a certain role, that both of these archetypes take on. The masculine is an archetype and the feminine is an archetype. And it doesn't mean that they're not equal. It just means that they have different things to bring to the table. So feminines, if you want to have this masculine, let's just say by your side, and the only reason that and I normally wouldn't say this, but I'm only saying it because I've seen this masculine's personality come through this reading. This masculine wants to be this person for you. Then you have to make room and allow him to be that person in your life. So this has to be some sort of understanding here that I'm not telling feminine that she needs to let go of her security or anything like that. But this is about if you're used to being this like person that's always in control, this like boss, this person that's just like always doing, just doing all this stuff. It doesn't mean you can't do those things anymore. But it might be to start putting some sort of value rather than into material things and status. Maybe putting more value into other things is kind of what I'm getting here. It's like money isn't everything. Status isn't everything. Having all of your ducks in a row isn't everything. Even though, of course, when you get older, you're going to be happy that you made certain investments, sure. But I feel like there's a real headstrong, dominant feminine here. Like she's totally self-sufficient and she can take care of herself. And that's fantastic. But I feel like if you want this masculine to complement your life, that's where you're going to have to compromise a little bit. That's when you're going to have to kind of figure out how to present your energy a little bit differently. Okay, because yes, you could be dealing with a masculine who has a little bit of an ego, like a fragile ego. He wants to feel in control. He wants to feel like the man. I'm sorry, that's just what I'm getting in this reading. Take it or leave it. But you've got to kind of make a decision on, do you just want to take care of yourself and be self-sufficient forever? Or do you actually want a partner? And if you want a partner, you can't be in complete control and totally run the show. You have to be willing to kind of share some of this with someone else. Share some of that control. Let go a little bit. Be the queen to this king, if that's what it is. So I feel like this feminine might need to soften her energy a little bit if you want this masculine. And if this triggers you and irritates you that I'm saying this to you, then this masculine that you are looking at right now as your person, you might need to rethink this. You might need to rethink the situation. This may not be your person. This may not be your person. Because if you feel like, I shouldn't have to change for somebody, that's true to a point, but that's what partnership is. You're going to have to compromise. Everyone has to compromise. And this goes for this masculine too. If this masculine wants to be all this for you, then he needs to start showing up as this person, right? But remember, the way that I have phrased the question here is, what does Spirit want the divine feminine to ask herself? What situation in your life is bringing you financial wealth and stability? Okay? So feminine is being asked to kind of look at her own assets, look at what she's doing right now, kind of figure out her financial situation. But she's also being asked to look at this masculine and saying, is he showing up as the King of Pentacles for me? He wants to be this person for me, but is he showing up in this way for me? So if you're putting your life on hold and you're waiting for this masculine to become this King of Pentacles for you, divine feminine, I kind of feel like what Spirit's asking you to do in the meantime, rather than just kind of wait for this, is to just continue to flourish on your own. And then if this masculine decides at some point to join you, then at that time, you guys can compromise together and share that role, especially if you're the kind of feminine that's used to being completely in control here. So there's growing and learning curves for both of you in all kinds of different ways. To me, this is a connection of major lessons in compromise and major ego clash. So if this is not your story this week, then that just means that I'm not plugged into your connection this week, and it's totally fine. Okay. So that's what I have for you, divine feminines out there. Hope it makes sense. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to get a message from your divine masculine's heart to you, divine feminine. So let me go ahead and grab my cards over here. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into my Arrows of Love Oracle and my Twin Flame Journey Messages, volume number 2. Messages from this masculine's heart to the feminine. Ooh, we have roses are red, true love. I'm afraid to take that next step right now. So that doesn't really surprise me to see this, because we did see that this masculine right now is holding back his true feelings for the feminine, how he truly, truly feels. So again, divine feminine, if you feel like you're at a crossroads and you're stuck and you're not really able to evolve with your life, okay, because you're waiting on this masculine to kind of complete you, what I'm getting here is that you do have enough on your own to sustain your own stability and happiness. Of course, we all, have that. But I feel like you do really want to have this masculine in your life to complement you. But when we, doing that, wanting that and doing that are two separate things. We might really struggle with this if we're actually faced with it. Like, to think about it and fantasize about it is, I feel like, what this connection is made of. The fantasy and the thought of it are really grand for both people. Both the masculine and feminine, the fantasy is really great. It sounds great. It seems like it would be great. But when you guys actually come together in the physical world, it's like there's something that's just still stuck. And it's like, to me, until you guys get, like, you're just going to keep coming back together too. It's like an infinity. You guys are just going to come back together until you guys can finally break this cycle and either do it or just be done with it for good, right? But we do have this masculine that's literally saying from his heart space, I'm still afraid to take that next step, which is why I'm in the Hanged Man's energy, okay? But my love for you is true. He dreams about this feminine a lot. And like I just said, the dream of this connection is really fantastic. What could be? Absolutely. You guys both feel that. I need to go my own way for a while. So this masculine is basically saying here, even though I have this love for you and even though I dream of you, I am afraid and I just still need to go my own way. I still need to figure some things out. And like I said, feminine, some of you guys might be tired of hearing that, but that's just what's coming through. So we do have the Lover in the Night. So I do feel like this masculine would really love to call up the feminine and get together with her real quick to alleviate some of that desire and hunger for her. But this could be something that you guys have done before in the past and it just didn't work well. You guys ended up in the Three of Swords energy, okay? And he can't take that reaction, because the reaction, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. It's the Three of Swords. It's unpleasant. It's hurt. It's pain. It's sadness. It's tears. It's heartbreaking is what it is. And I feel like this is good, because if you've been dealing with the masculine feminine you guys have gone back and forth and you guys have come together and always seems to kind of end up in, heartbreak. If he is not coming towards you or reaching out to you and he's thinking about this before he does it, because perhaps in the past, maybe he just did what he wanted and he didn't really think about it. At least the evolution that's taken place, and at least what he's doing now, he's not just going to act on his impulses. He's not going to just pick up the phone or send that text. He's at least going to think about it, because he doesn't want to create that scenario again, because it's not right. It's not cool. Okay? Because if he's not ready, it's not cool to contact you. And I'm just seeing this might be where he has evolved. This might be where he's been actually working on himself. So he's letting you know that, feminine, straight from his heart space, that, you know, he does want to be a different person. He doesn't want to be the same person that perhaps he's been in the past, which has been very hurtful, if that's the story, okay? If that's the story. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see what energies are going to be presenting themselves in the future. And I say presenting because energy presents itself all the time. But whether we choose to embrace it or, you know, push it away is a free will choice. So these are the things that may pop through and may present themselves in the future with this connection. Okay, so we've got my Oracle of Chance and we've got my Arrows of Love Tarot. A new phase begins. We have heart energy here. So it's like blood is pumping through the heart. Our heart is pumping again. We're feeling something again. A new phase begins. And we do have the King of Swords, which is the Aquarian energy. Discipline. I like this. I feel like this masculine is going to reach out to the feminine and make a move towards her when he is actually ready to act with integrity and bring her his truth, because he's worked on himself, because he's more disciplined. So this is not like a King of Wands, or not a King of Wands, a Knight of Wands, which is somebody who's just purely impulsive, or a Knight of Cups, somebody that's just going to do it because they feel it. This is actually somebody who's really thinking about it. Like, I'm really thinking about this, and my moves are very methodical. I've thought a lot about this. We have the timing as spring, so there could be something that happens in spring, okay? Something that happens in spring. So we are entering in spring, I believe, next week. We have, oh, I like this. This is the Youth of Arrows, which is the Page of Swords, confronting. This is a message. So I feel like there is a possibility that this masculine will be presented with this opportunity to message the feminine and to have a conversation with her and to confront this ugly truth, or to confront this apology that needs to be made, or to confront this unfinished business. And it might not be pleasant for him, but the thing is, if you're the King of Swords, you do what's right. You do it even if it's uncomfortable. Now, of course, this could be the feminine reaching out to the masculine, and this is what she gets. And a completion of a cycle is near. Okay, so a completion of a cycle is near and a new phase begins. So there could be a karmic cycle that is ending here. So it brings forth a new beginning. It's funny, I already said, it's not like the Knight of Wands energy. What I'm getting here with this, though, is because it's coming up with this card as a combo. The Knight of Wands is how it's, I feel, always been. The Knight of Wands very much is intense, passionate, wants to do it, like wants to come forth, wants to hook up. That's that Lover in the Night energy. I feel like you guys have already done this in this connection. It hasn't worked. It never ends well. This completion, that karmic pattern is coming to an end. So if you are not hearing from your masculine, or if you had and he's wanted to do this and you've said no, feminine, that is why this karmic lesson is coming to a close. What phase you guys are entering into now is more of this serious, I want to bring my truth. I want to do things that are deliberate. I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to promise you the world and not be able to deliver. I actually want to take my time, and I want to grow, and I want to do this right. So to me, there is an opportunity that you too will be able to enter into a new phase because people are doing things differently. We have the growth of the Knight of Wands to the King of Swords, and that's a huge leap. That is a huge leap on this journey, for sure. All right, what else? We have Rose. Okay, so this is kind of cool because I've got to just show you this. Rose is our red true love. I do feel that in the future, this masculine, actually, and we do have these lilies as well, he might present flowers to this feminine. He might send her flowers, or he may present her flowers. He may show up on her doorstep with flowers. There's could be, and it might not have to be flowers, but it's like a token of my affection to you. This is my effort in trying to court you, win you back, tell you how sorry I am. This is me confronting you to say, I want to clear the air. I want to change this situation. So there's that. And we have a wish will be granted. So maybe this is something that the feminine has been wishing for. She's been hoping and praying that this masculine would come around. She's been hoping and praying that there would be positive change here, that he would grow, that he might see the error of his ways, etc. Yeah. Exactly. That he might see her as the feminine that she really is. And I do feel like this masculine does see this feminine as somebody who is ideal for him. Like, she's really good for me. So I was listening to this podcast this morning. Gosh, what's her name? Dr. Romney was one of her guests. Mel, I think her name is Mel. And she does this exercise where she goes in front of her mirror and she like talks to herself or whatever. For some reason, Mel Robbins, maybe that's what her name is. Anyways, I'm listening to them and they were talking a lot about, just people that are damaged. And they were talking about how when people are damaged, and I've actually experienced this myself before, where you meet someone. It's not like, ooh, I'm just perfect and not damaged myself, but you're bringing forth to a damaged person or someone who has never gotten their emotional needs met. So it's kind of like their language of love is to be with a partner because it feels right for them that doesn't meet their emotional needs, that treats them like crap, that makes them have to work for their affection and love. And then here you come into this person's life and you're all giving, loving, you don't play any games. That's not going to be truly attractive to that person. Not yet. That person might grow and change with time. Okay. And that may become attractive to them later on when they work on those wounds. But if someone is not aware of those wounds to begin with, or they're not willing to kind of like look at, hey, you know what, there's a reason I keep attracting the same shitty type of person, they're not going to be able to value you. They're not going to be able to see you as that true prize. But what they'll probably do is say, I know that they're good for me, but I just don't feel that excitement. Or I don't feel this like burning desire to try to make this work. It's either it's too easy or it's too safe. It's too predictable. And usually people that want a lot of drama and excitement, they're bonded like from a trauma with past connections. And so they want to connect with other people from that trauma. Okay. So if you're coming to them in a healthy way and they're just like, what the hell is this? This isn't what I want. You know what I'm talking about, you guys. We've either met people like that ourselves and we felt that way about them. They're just not what I'm looking for. And I'm not saying like everybody that we meet that, we don't feel the way that we don't feel excited about them, that somehow that means that they're a great person and that we're just damaged. That's not what I'm saying in every scenario. But I'm sure that there has been like a nice guy or even a girl that you guys have met before and she's just really, really nice. He's really cool, really stable, but it's just not doing it for me, right? And then maybe years later, you have gone through a string of just toxic relationships and you see that person on the street corner and they've got a wife and a kid and you think to yourself, oh my God, I really blew it. I really blew it, right? So sometimes that's just what happens in situations where we meet people when they're still traumatized and they haven't worked on it. And I just feel this energy with this person. This individual might still be working out some sort of crap, but they do see you as their ideal, but there's still some pieces of that puzzle that they need to put together. And I feel like that's what the holdup is here. And we're not saying put your life on hold here and wait for this person or anything like that, but you really are that feminine, that true divine feminine, and you will, feminine, get what you want. And I don't mean that as we're taking the free will away from another person, but it just means that if you really value yourself and you see yourself as a queen, you will attract the right king to you. That is what I am seeing here for you, Divine Feminine. That's the last message that I want to bring to you. So that's what I have. I really hope that this message resonated with you. And if you guys would like to either tip me or give me like a donation or anything to my channel for bringing you guys these free readings, I do have some links down below. I also have an Amazon wish list as well if you guys want to buy me a deck. I love getting little fun things in the mail. They're so much fun. So anyways, thanks again. Hit the like, subscribe, the whole thing. All those things help the channel to push out these videos and help me to grow. So all of those little things do make a difference. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Bye-bye.